you could actually start seeing progress. Even if it's a slow progress, it is progress, and any progress matters. Getting on top of your debt before it gets on top of you is the only way you can avoid losing it all. Not studying, not gaining knowledge. The rich people are looking for time. They're trying to save their time. That's what they do when they want to grow more wealth. Saving money and building wealth comes with a sacrifice. What is happening with your money, where it's going, how much you're spending. Hello everyone, and welcome to my self-improvement and dating podcast. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about money habits that are keeping you poor and how to overcome them. So I'm going to give you guys 5 techniques, tricks, and things that you have to implement in your life every day if you really want to change your mindset and start making better choices when it comes to money. Probably a rich mindset, because that's what you should be on, or no more debt. Go ahead and comment down below. And the best part is that your mindset is going to view money differently. Instead of having the poor mindset, you're going to be able to think abundantly and be able to make more money, have a bigger income, and actually be positive about money. And you're going to see so many opportunities also appear in your life. The way you change your mindset is going to be so important, because it's going to determine how you think about money, and you have to have a great perspective about money if you really want to be successful when it comes to money. So give this video a huge thumbs up, and let's get this video to 150 likes for a second part. Check out all my social media. Make sure you follow me on there, and let's go ahead and get into the first thing on my list is not having and living with a budget. So you have to have budget planning no matter how much your income is. If you are making less than what you expect to, or if you are at your bottom compared to the top, it does not matter, because when you get to the top or you get a promotion, you have to keep track of your income. Having a realistic, well-planned budget is key to financial planning and success. At the end of the day, when you know how much you're making and how you're spending your money, and you have a plan behind it, you won't be overspending, and most importantly, you won't be compulsively spending. So when you go to the store and you're not thinking about your budget, if you don't have it planned out, you're going to be in that store and not be able to control yourself. So you'll be so tempted. You're not going to window shop no more. You're going to go into that store and be like, you know what? I can afford it. Can you really afford it? Can your budget actually buy it 3 times and you'll be okay? Probably not. And fellas, if y'all want to get on the line and talk about your situation, it could be back to the mindset you have. Maybe you do have the poor mindset. Maybe you want to change and elevate it, or it could be back to dating. What's going on in your dating life? If there's a woman out there you want to have a better, successful relationship with, you want some love going on, go ahead and book your consultation. It could be about anything. Click that link down below and let's get on the line, talk about what's going on. So just to wrap up with this number one thing, make sure you do have a budget and you do stick to it. Plan it all out. You don't want your financial situation to get out of control. You don't want to not have control of your spending, of how much you know what's going on with your budget. Be the person that leads themselves to questioning where all their money went at the end of the month. That won't be you if you have your financial planning well planned out and it's realistic and it actually matches your budget and is correct. All right. And before I get into number 2, make sure you comment down below rich mindset, because we're all trying to be on that rich mindset, not the poor. And if you want to comment no more instead, because no more of the poor mindset, make sure you go ahead and leave that comment in the comment section down below. Number 2 is relying too heavily on credit. Credit is important, but if it's going to be part of your whole life, you have to understand how much you have to keep it in check. Yes, your credit is so important. And yes, you want to have that high credit score, but here's where the problem comes in. When you rely on it too much, you want to spend what's on your credit. So some people do have a large amount that they could go ahead and use from their credit. But what happens? It's actually a payday loan when you go ahead and use it to buy the things that you desire, that you are thinking about, that you cannot afford. And this is going back to number 1, right? Because number 1 tells you should be planning your budget. You should be realistic. And so sometimes you just want to get that thing. Sometimes you're treating yourself way too much, way too early, and it's just out of your pocket. So sometimes with that credit, some people really look at it as an easy access to get what they want, and they don't think about the future plan of it, of when are you going to be able to pay that back? And when are you going to have the money? And when are you going to actually need these things? Do you really need it? Is it beneficial? Is it a need or a want? And unfortunately, a lot of these answers are not solved, are not correct. And then you go ahead and depend on your credit. You max it out. Now you don't got no money. Now you don't even have access to extra money. Basically, that payday loan that you're supposed to pay back, that's not even an option. And now you have your credit score going down. And not only that, now you have to worry about but how are you going to pay that money back? And when you get that thing that you want at the end, what's the sad truth of it is that most times people don't really need it. Sometimes it's just because you have that credit card, relying on it to get what you want. If it's grocery shopping, things like that, and you don't have no cash, no money in your debit, and you really need money and you're spending it on good groceries, not things that are just, oh, well, you know what? I really love this dessert so much and it's expensive and it's not on sale, but I'm gonna get it. You're doing that and getting the wrong things. But if it's things that like you need for the month, things that you could actually save on, things that are making sense to buy for groceries for your family, to put food on the table, then you go do that. And let's talk about when you save money, buying things in bulk, buying things obviously on sale. Those things really matter. And what I have to go ahead and wrap up on is to say that if you need credit to buy it, then you cannot afford it. In other words, if you need your credit card to be used for that item, that means you don't have enough money in general to actually be able to get that item. In other words, you're actually just using money that is not for you, that is not available to you, that you just have access to. And so you can't actually get it if you didn't have the credit. And so you're using your credit. And so that's relying way too much on your credit card. Only be using your credit card if you can actually go ahead and pay it right back. If you can buy that item 3 times and you'll still be okay. Don't want to go broke or be broke. Try to use your credit. And something everybody needs to know is that racking up credit card debt is one of the worst bad money habits anybody can have. Interest is real. Interest gets high. You don't want to have interest on it. The more you have on your credit card too, and the more you're making less payments, not reaching the minimum payment too, then you have yourself not being able to pay that credit card back, stuck with you for a long time. And 2 ebooks available now, and one is about how to get her missing you, and the other is how to attract a woman you want. And on the screen, you see all that it includes. This will help you go ahead and improve your game when it comes to women. And what I decided to add at the end is my personal experience when I was missing a fella myself. I was really going through it, and also how that fella that wanted me got me. And so go ahead and make sure you get your ebooks by clicking the link down below. You are wasting money that you are throwing down the drain. So avoid throwing that money you don't have down the drain. And of course, go ahead and try your best to pay off your credit every month in full so you can avoid those fees that are going to come for you. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to number 3 on my list. Number 3 is not keeping a record of your money. This ties into budgeting. So when you don't keep track, when you don't even know how you're spending your money, not writing it down, not actually remembering, not keeping notes when you go out, and keeping your receipts, yes, that helps you, and also the transactions that might be on that app you have. All types of transactions, whether it's going to be on a different app like PayPal, all those things. When you are not keeping track of it, you are just going to have a bad money habit and not understand what is happening with your money, where it's going, how much you're spending. You just have no clue with your financial stability, how well it's getting, how bad it's doing, if it's really getting worse. And chances are it probably is when you have no idea what's going on with your money. So keeping track is very important. So let's just be realistic. If you don't know how much your bills are, who they're payable to, then how are you going to be able to be on track of your finances? How are you going to be on top of it? You will not be able to because you are unaware of what's really the amount. And what sucks is that it can start with simple things such as your phone bill, right? If you don't have a high phone bill, sometimes you simply don't even know how much you are paying every month. You don't know when you're missing certain days, and now you're getting other fees that are added. And not only that, you don't know how much you're spending yearly, and now you could be saving money. And also, if you owe money, who you have to pay back. If you go ahead and do that, it's going to be a great form of you budgeting your money and being fully aware of how your money is being spent, how much you're going to be able to save, what you can do with that rest of the money. Now you don't have to depend on your credit and run to your credit. Now you have this much left. You didn't spend or overspend, and you save money in certain areas that you paid attention to. One of the best parts about keeping track of your money is that you're going to be fully aware of fraudulent activities that could be happening and other potential risks that could be happening with your account. Maybe you're in stocks. Maybe you are back to on other apps like PayPal or other accounts that have your money invested or sitting there. So you have to be fully aware if something is going wrong, if something is missing, if somebody's messing with your account. There's hackers, there's scammers out there for real. So you don't want to become a victim to any of those things. Go ahead and simply avoid it by going ahead and keeping track and knowing and checking all the time, checking your accounts, making sure everything is up to date. And so let's go ahead and move on to number 4 on my list. If you still haven't given this video a big thumbs up, do that right now. And number 4 is prioritizing the wrong thing. Saving money and building wealth comes with a sacrifice. There is no getting that to happen without going ahead and sacrificing things such as wasting that time. Or let's say partying, not studying, not gaining knowledge. All these things can lead you to miss out on money and also not have the right things as a priority in your life. And so now you have yourself actually not building any wealth and you feel stagnant. And not only that, you could be losing money in the process. You could also be wasting time. That's something you don't want to do. The rich people are looking for time. They're trying to save their time. That's what they do when they want to grow more wealth. And so you want that rich mindset instead of the poor. And so the best way is to start sacrificing the right things and the things that do gotta go and the things that could help you go ahead and build that financial wealth. You want to go ahead and buy an investment property. You want to go ahead and get a bigger home, upgrade your home, or even simply want to take a vacation, even if it's just for the weekend, or maybe you want to take it for the week. How are you going to do that if you don't have the money for it, if you haven't sacrificed on that guilty pleasure that you just keep spending on or keep running back to, right? So it means when it comes down to sacrifices, remove what is cutting you back from actually what you want at the end, what is really going to be more beneficial, and what is actually going to be long-term the best thing for you. So that financial property that you want, that is going to go ahead and build you more wealth at the end, right? That is going to make you feel like you got money. And actually the truth of it is that even in your first year, if let's say you are losing money in the beginning, you are now able to say that you do have a property that will actually head and turn around at the end, right? Because it is an investment and you could lose money, but then your gains should be coming afterwards, right? So now it's all about the sacrifices. What are you going to do to go ahead and get that place? What are you going to get rid of? Sometimes some people are so serious when they go ahead and want to make that change and want to sacrifice, they will do something such as selling their car. Yes, because you know, car comes with insurance, cars comes with other things like maintenance and things that you just have to be on top of so you can keep your car, right? And that's the thing. If you have a lease and other things that are gonna not maybe help you, right? And there's things that will help you, like sometimes when you have a business, there's benefits and stuff like that. When you do have a car, there's all types of stuff out there. You got to be fully aware. But that's the thing. If somebody's not really using their car, they don't actually have to travel. They don't really need their car. Maybe they live downtown, or maybe they live where there's so much things closer to them and they realize like, hey, I don't want to use my car. Hey, I don't care for the high gas, right? So sometimes they might just get rid of their car for a year. Maybe they say, I'll get rid of it now. Maybe they fully bought their car too. They don't want to worry about insurance and these other things. And so they get rid of it just for that meantime. But that money that they save, they go ahead and have it as a ready investment or whatever it is that they want, which could be that property, or it could be other things that they see that is going to be really beneficial for their finances at the end. So that could be simply you by going ahead and sacrificing the right things that you have to. And so just remember with number 4, not only do you have to be clear with your goals and priorities, but yes, they do have to be regularly reviewed. So regularly review them, make sure that they're all straight, and make sure sacrificing the correct things that you got to, and some of the things that's going to make you not feel happy about it, but it's going to give you at the end the long-term success, the financial freedom as well could happen at the end. Number 5, y'all, is ignoring your debt, trying to act like it does not exist, trying to say, well, it's not going to get worse, or I'll get to it when it matters. It cannot work like that. It only grows. And not only that, you're not making effort to try to get rid of it or cut it down. The only thing that's worse than racking up unnecessary or expensive debt is ignoring it altogether when it comes time to pay it off. You cannot act like it does not exist. Let's put acknowledgement towards it and be fully aware that you are in debt and you have to do something about it, like make minimal payments, make small payments. Stop taking that chunk that you have, which it could be a small one, doesn't really matter, or it could be a big chunk that you get. Maybe somehow you got a promotion, or maybe you got a big income coming in that month, or let's just say you are cutting out certain and stuff you don't need, sacrificing the right things, right? And so what do you do with that money? Instead of going ahead and paying it towards your debt, you are going ahead and doing what? Ignoring it like it does not exist. You should be fully aware that your debt is there. And instead of taking trips or spending more on other things you don't have money for, like going out, enjoying those other things that will be something you have a guilty pleasure towards, like maybe spending money on food that you don't need when you go out, when you can maybe make a meal, things like that. What you could do is start making those payments towards your debt and have a goal of trying to pay it off, even a certain amount for this month, for this year. You could actually start seeing progress, even if it's a slow progress. It is progress, and any progress matters. It's a vicious cycle, and it could lead you to nothing at the end. You don't want that. You don't want it to get worse. You want to go ahead and do something about it. Ignoring it is not a solution at all. It is there. It's not going to make it disappear at all. And if you still have a comment rich mindset, because that's what you should be on, or no more, like no more debt, go ahead and comment down below. And so the last things I'll say about ignoring your debt, acting like it's not there, consider consolidating your debt and paying an achievable amount at least every month, or yes, if you could do it every 2 months. Hopefully it's not a year, right? We want to make it to be the sooner the better. So what is going to be realistic for you? Try to make that achievable goal actually happen, and try to make it as regular as possible so you can get closer to paying it off. Getting on top of your debt before it gets on top of you is the only way you can avoid losing it all. And now it just feels like it's over and that there is no clear way out. Make sure you do get on top of your debt. And so thank y'all so much for watching. I hope these 5 tips helped y'all out. I hope you guys take it serious and actually listen to every single thing that I said and use it to your advantage in life. Nobody's excluded from having that rich mindset and removing that poor mindset and making sure that they actually get on top of everything that they need to, view things differently in the correct way, make the right sacrifices, and of course, make sure you're not ignoring the things that make you feel uncomfortable, the things that could actually long-term, if it's long-term, change your life for the better. Think about financial freedom. How can you get there? Or think about how you could just possibly have your finances in check. You need to have the stability. If you don't have it going on, know it's possible. You got to just do something about it. All right. So try to do all 5 if you can. If you can't, do the ones you can do. And so if y'all want that part 2, let me know. I'll drop it as soon as possible. Let's get this video to 150 likes. Check out everything down below. And that is all. Y'all see me in my next video. Bye, y'all.